A Chinese government survey ship is tagging an exploration vessel operated by Malaysia's state oil company Petronas in disputed waters in the South China Sea.
The South China Sea issue is one very big issue that we have not resolved.
The South China Sea has been a theatre of contentious issue regarding territorial disputes in Southeast Asia. It has overlapping claims among neighbouring countries that are allegedly within their sovereign territory. China also lays its claim in the region, covering almost all areas within the contested region in the so-called 9-dash line, an area that stretched 2,000 kilometers from the mainland of China up close to a few hundred kilometers away from Philippines, Malaysia and Vietnam shores. The 9-dash line is referred to the area in the South China Sea consisting islands, features and coral reefs such as the Paracel Islands, Spratly Islands, Scarborough Shoal, claimed by China as part of their historical maritime territory dated back during the Han and Ming dynasty based on historical archives. Also, it is very important to note that the South China Sea has been one of the major trade routes in the world, and one of the things that also incentivizes China to go after it is the resources beneath the South China Sea. We will talk about oil and gas and natural resources. China's rising power has become an incentive for China to assert dominance in the South China Sea region. This includes claiming territories that they do not have any rights to claim, which is in the case of Spratly Island that is claimed by Malaysia and China as integral parts of their sovereign territory. This has caused the sovereignty of both states involved to threaten as well as their national interests, as China occupied 7 land features while Malaysia occupied 5 reef features from the total of 12. China's disrespect on the international law has caused unnecessary conflicts and invoked fear on those who are involved. In this video, we are going to talk about these territorial disputes between China and Malaysia in 2 terms. Number 1, we're going to talk about how will it impact the Malaysia security, and secondly, how will it impact Malaysia in terms of economy.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I abide to Madam Aiman and my fellow friends. Now I will explain about how China's 9-dash line affected the Malaysia security. First, we need to know that Malaysia and China disputed over the Spratly Island has caused what impact to Malaysia's national security and its sovereignty. For Malaysia, the Spratly Island issue has made Malaysia to decide and stand firm from the past few years to promote on the non-militarization solutions in the waterway and urge the other ASEAN nations for more anonymous resolution on dealing with China and the other foreign power. China, through its naval power, has occupied many reef islands in this region and claims that the island is their sovereignty. And what is more shocking, they also have claimed that the South China Sea itself is their territory through its imaginary plan of the 9-dash line. Since the year of 2014, China has rapidly developing and building up its strategic infrastructure like military based on the disputed area of the Spratly Islands, such as on the Fiery Cross Reef, Mischief Reef and also Subkhi Reef. And the latest issues is in the May 2020, where the China research ship and surveillance ship, which we call as a Haiyan DZ8, has encroached Malaysia waters and its economic exclusive zone. And it appeared near Malaysia Exploration and Reef ship, which is West Capella, under the Malaysian Petroleum Company Petronas. This situation has made Malaysia to send its maritime and its naval forces to keep shadowing the China Coast Guard and to defend the Malaysia sovereignty. Also having tension with China, Malaysia's idea for peace and stability in the South China Sea is still not changed, which is Malaysia's claim and stated that the South China Sea should remain free for peace and trade, and enforcing that all parties must be work together and be responsible to maintain the peace, security and stability in this region, and try to increase efforts to building and maintain mutual trust and confidence among their nation in the Southeast Asia region. That's all from me. Thank you.
How does 9-9 can give impact on Malaysia's economy? As we can see, South China Sea is a highly important commercial route, alongside with a lot of natural resources hidden underneath the region. It is estimated that around 7 billion barrels of oil, as well as 900 trillion cubic feet of natural gas proven or probable in South China Sea. As for trading route, it is one of the busiest trading route in the world, with estimated 5.3 trillion US dollar of waterborne trade flowing in and out of the region. Hence, we can see that the surrounding country such as Malaysia and obviously China wants to protect the trade route as well as to ensure the safety of their vital resources for their economy in the region. China, as the main power in South China Sea, are capable enough of jeopardizing Malaysia's effort and blocking their access to the natural resources in the region. This incident happened recently as Chinese Coast Guard vessels harassing West Capella, a Malaysian Petronas exploration vessel in South China Sea that lasts for 6 months. This occurred even though that ship is operating within Malaysia's exclusive economic zone. Apart from that, this can give impact on Malaysia-China bilateral relationship as it will threaten the trade between them. The trade volume between Malaysia and China is relatively high. According to Malaysia External Trade Development Corporation (Maritime), China is one of Malaysia's key trade partner along with the United States of America, Singapore, Japan and Thailand. Both of Malaysia and China plan to increase their trade up to 160 billion US dollar by 2019. However, due to the recent incident as well as the unsettled dispute, it is feared that the trade that has been planned might be at stake. Although China's approach to settle this case with Malaysia is relatively soft compared to what China did to the Philippines and Vietnam, yet any action that could frustrate or threaten China will give disadvantages for Malaysia's economy in the future.
In overall, the South China Sea has been a theatre of continuous issue regarding territorial dispute in Southeast Asia. Malaysia and China must use appropriate measures to settle down the dispute and tension between them, such as dialogues and negotiation. As per said by the Foreign Minister of Malaysia, Datuk Seri Shamsuddin Hussein, Malaysia maintains its position for a peaceful resolve on South China Sea issue. He stated that all states that involved must cooperate together for the peace, stability and security of the region. He also highlighted that each party must accept the common rules and principles that state in the international laws in order to put an end to the South China Sea dispute. At the same time, both sides must respect each other's sovereignty in order to avoid any escalation of conflict, as it will give severe consequences for both parties. Nevertheless, Malaysia and China must put efforts on continuing the greatest talk regarding the issue in South China Sea, as well as keeping the good bilateral relationship both in the aspect of diplomacy and economy, as to ensure the harmony and stability among themselves, thus keeping the South China Sea safe from any future confrontation. So that's all from us. Thank you.